This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm joined by SJAM'S Shane Watson. There's only one thing to discuss, Shane. I'm just going to get right into it. Are there actually talks going on about Joshua and Joyce?
I'd say, when I say talks, I wouldn't go as far as talks, but I know that Adam's had like a little brief chat with, I think, Freddie from 258. But listen, we're on AJ's shortlist. I think the reaction, as everyone could see from when he tweeted Joe Joyce back, Eddie speaking about Joe Joyce in interviews, has been wild. I think everyone's been jumping on Joyce Joshua more than Joshua Valin or all these other names that have been thrown about a lot more, because it's a British dust-up. There's history from the amateurs, history from sparring. There was big rumours going around that Joyce dropped AJ in sparring. So, you know, there's a little bit of, I wouldn't say needle, but I guess there is. When you're against each other, and the heavyweights as an amateur, there always is a little bit of needle between each other. But at the end of the day, what I say is Joyce, Joshua can happen. People were saying about Frank and Eddie won't work together. I'm telling you now, as part of Joe Joyce's management team, that Joyce Joshua can definitely happen. It's just how much that they want to make it, really.
You know, you've got Adam, yourself and SJAM, who work really closely with Matchroom for fighters, etc. You have a fine relationship with Eddie, so they can go through that way. But from a commercial point of view, are you a bit surprised, really, that Joshua actually engaged with that talk? I asked him in an interview as well. He said no problem fighting Joe Joyce. He went on social media and said, you know, not a problem fighting Joe Joyce. Are you surprised that he's engaging in this?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, the reason why I'm not is because if you look at the list of names, other than Wilder, like Otto Valin, what has he done to earn that fight? He won one round against Tyson Fury, gave him a bad cut, but in his career, other than that, he's done nothing. He beat Brazil when Brazil was finished. Other than that, he hasn't really done anything. So when I say surprised, well, I would be surprised if he just said it was going to be Joyce or Wilder. Then I'd be surprised. But when you're mentioning Valin, Luis Ortiz, who almost got ironed out by Prince Charles Martin and whatnot, like it doesn't shock me as much. But I'm shocked more of that he would want that challenge, because he knows how good Joe Joyce is. He knows how tough he is, and there'll be a lot of pressure on him in that fight. I mean, he probably needs a fight that ain't going to bring so much pressure to him to the table, because he's got a new trainer. I know that he's worked with Angel before, but maybe, I'm not sure if he is his head trainer, by the way, but if he is, and also he needs to build the confidence again, because he lost very clearly against Usyk. I struggled to give him more than 2 rounds in the whole fight, so I thought we maybe try and have a bit of an easier fight, because just put it this way, Joshua can fight whoever he wants, really, and he'll sell out any arena. So, but yeah, the fight could happen. It's good that AJ's mentioning Joe. Joe's well up for that fight. When I spoke to Joe about it the other day, and the guy had a smile that was like unbelievably big. Like, he's well up for that fight, because he 100% believes he can beat Anthony Joshua. And you know what, the other thing as well, Anthony Joshua has always said how he wants to fight in Nigeria. Now Joe is actually Nigerian as well, so that'd be a massive fight for Africa. It'd be unbelievable. Everyone would turn out for it, and it's a fight that can definitely happen. So I'm hoping that it can. But it's very, very, very unlikely, in my opinion. So.
Okay. Very unlikely. Just say, it's a strange world boxing, so just say that fight does actually come off. Why does Joe Joyce beat Anthony Joshua?
The same way he's beat Daniel Dubois and he's beaten everyone else. He's too tough, too strong, and too game. At the end of the day, people said he gets hit too much. The only time he's ever been hit too much is when he never really respected his opponents. Daniel Dubois, did he get hit too much? No, not at all. But against Takam, yeah, because he didn't respect him, and that's just the unfortunate thing. But do you think Joe is going to go in the way he fought Takam against Joshua? Obviously not. So I just think get him behind that jab and stop him late, the way that he does with his opponents. He always does it that way. But listen, it's a great fight. There's definitely an argument how Joshua can win that fight. Joshua's a very good boxer, and he can whack as well. That's why it's a great fight. And at the end of the day, out of that whole list, other than Wilder, who's obviously not going to have that fight, he's out there doing this weird testing thing with that drug thing that other people have done. Not an illegal one, but whatever it is. I can't remember what it's called. So he's obviously not going to be fit to fight in the next 3 to 4 months.
I can't see anyways a deal being done for Joshua Wilder, definitely.
Yeah, and I don't even know if that's just talk to make it look like Joshua really wants that kind of fight, but I'm not sure. Maybe he does. But other than that, which one of those opponents on that list would sell out a stadium? There's not one. But Joshua against Joyce could sell out Emirates. I could sell out another stadium. It'd sell out Vicarage Road. I heard them speaking about Vicarage Road the other day. But Valin against Joshua is an O2 fight. Joshua against Ortiz is an O2 fight. They're not going to sell any stadiums. And I'm not sure what platform it would be on, but they're not going to. It wouldn't do amazing on pay-per-view either. It would do decent numbers, but it won't be amazing on there. But Joyce Joshua would be.
$1 million.
And also, not just that as well, people would start to see the real Joe Joyce, I think, in the press conference and build up to that fight. I think Joe maybe struggled at times to really engage with his opponent, because there's no real background or needle there. You saw it a little bit against the bar, but I think you'd really see it against someone like AJ.
Okay, well, we will kind of stay tuned for developments, if there are developments in the Joshua Joyce story. Shane, thank you very much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your night at this fantastic, I was going to say small hall show, but the production out there, it's like a top rank or Queensbury or Matchroom show.
No, I was saying it to Izzy earlier. Listen, I never really met him before today, but we've been speaking a lot on WhatsApp lately. He's just like a genuinely really nice guy. And I was like saying to Lorraine, yeah, we're going to a small hall show today. As soon as Lorraine came through the doors, he's like, bloody hell, what the hell was this? It's like, there's big screens everywhere, there's cameras, there's like loads of stars ringside. I was like, you know what, fair play to him. It's his first show, and he's done really well. He sold it out, great atmosphere in there, some decent fights. And look, and he's invested a lot of money into it. And you need to get behind events like that, because look, he's doing good stuff for boxing, isn't he? So,
Thank you very much for your time, right?